everyone, it's Momomochi, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 bad study habits when learning Japanese. Please keep in mind that these bad study habits are my opinion based on my experience on what you shouldn't do when learning Japanese. However, I understand that many people use different methods to learn a language. Bad habit number 1, only reading and writing romaji. When you first start learning Japanese, you're going to see a lot of Japanese words and phrases written with letters from the Roman alphabet. This is called romaji, literally meaning Roman character. While romaji can help you with pronunciation in the beginning, it is not commonly used in practical Japanese reading and writing. Therefore, romaji should not be your primary method for reading and writing, or it will really set you back in your studying. So as soon as you've got down the basics, it's important to ditch the romaji and start learning hiragana and katakana. Just because these new alphabets look scary doesn't mean you should put off studying them, which leads me into my next point. Bad habit number 2, saving kanji for when you're more advanced. The truth is, you're not going to get more advanced unless you're studying kanji from the beginning. Kanji will show up in the early stages of learning Japanese. It is a vital component of the language, and you will see it used in nearly everything. Now, this doesn't mean you have to sit down and learn all 2,000 plus kanji in the first year of your studying. Maybe not even the first 500. But if you start with a small amount, like 20, maybe even 10, it can really help improve your studying. The more kanji you know, the faster you'll be able to read Japanese. It may look scary to see all these kanji at once, but when you see the same ones over and over again through time, you begin to remember and recognize them. But why is learning kanji important? Well, to be honest, kanji actually makes learning Japanese and reading Japanese a lot easier. I know, it sounds crazy, but I'm about to show you why. Kanji can be helpful in determining the meaning of a word in the written language. For example, let's look at the word ao. Ao means to meet, but it can also mean to come together. This word in hiragana is pronounced and spelled exactly the same way. So then how do we know which one is being used? Well, you can tell from the kanji. Of course, you could discern this meaning through context, but if your Japanese isn't as advanced, then the kanji can let you know immediately which one is being used. This is just one of the reasons that, while kanji may seem difficult at first, makes learning and reading Japanese much simpler. Bad habit number 3, not studying every day or at least a few times a week. Have you ever heard the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it? This is entirely true when learning any language. If you don't use it daily or at least weekly, it's very easy for all the grammar that you spent hours studying to disappear if you don't practice. Talking, reading, or even just listening to Japanese radio or TV once a week can help you keep up your skills in the language. This is especially important if you live in a place outside Japan or in an area that doesn't have a lot of Japanese speakers. A great way to keep this up is to find a language partner or a native speaker who is willing to practice with you. Sites like italki and languagepartners.com are awesome ways to find someone who is also learning a language. Plus, it's a great way to make friends. Bad habit number 4, always saying watashi wa. In the early stages of learning Japanese, many textbooks will teach you the sentence structure for talking about yourself as watashi wa. However, watashi wa isn't used as often in spoken language. In English, it's pretty typical for us to always say I at the beginning of our sentence when we are talking about ourselves in conversation. But in Japanese, if you are already speaking about yourself or haven't specified another object as a subject or another person, it is already implied that you are speaking about yourself. Therefore, there is no need to repeat watashi wa at the beginning of each sentence when you are speaking about yourself. Saying watashi wa at the beginning of every sentence sounds a little unnatural, and you will hear most Japanese speakers drop it. 私は怠け者です。私は嬉しいです。私は背が高いです。私はクレイジーのオタクです。Bad habit number 5, not practicing spoken language. So let's say you've been studying Japanese for a while now. You know all the grammar, you studied lots of kanji, and you text your friends daily in Japanese. You've had a lot of practice in studying. However, does this mean that you can also speak the same way? Not exactly true. Just because you can text your friends fluidly in Japanese does not mean that you can speak that same way. When you think about it, in texting or typing, it's a lot easier to correct your mistakes before you reply. But physically speaking Japanese is a lot faster paced because you have to think and talk at the same time. This fast-paced thinking is something you may not be used to if you don't practice speaking and can result in a lot of stuttering and pausing in between sentences. The only way to get better at speaking a language is to speak it. So find those language partners so you can start speaking Japanese and make your Japanese sound flawless. Okay everyone, so those are my 5 bad study habits to avoid. I hope this can help you out when you are learning and practicing Japanese. Many of these study habits can be applied to any foreign language, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!